Hello grade 9, this is my daily video just giving you some examples and extra tips and help and advice. So this is pertaining to task 2 and analysing your data. So by now you should have constructed 2 different surveys with a mix of 4 quantitative questions and 1 qualitative question per survey using Likert scales, multiple choice, checklists for the quantitative and a longer question where responders are asked to justify their answers for the qualitative question, and you should have sent those out via proper formal emails, collected them, and start getting your graphs and having a little look at what people have said. This is where you should be at now, really. Now, if you go on the website, you'll find 2 videos on getting data and interpreting it and analysing data, along with other videos that might be helpful, but these 2 are definitely pertinent to the stage we're at now. And there's also an example of 1 question and its analysis, which I have done. And there's a video explaining this as well. But I'm going to just use this time to go through some student examples that I've come across recently, and I just want to talk about why they're really, really good. So the first example I've got, this student has given the context. A total of 25 students from multiple schools in Cairo were asked about their opinions and personal experiences with online learning. That's important. We need to know how many people were asked and who was asked, or who were asked. Then we've got the first question and the graph which shows the 25 responses. Do you feel like learning from home has improved your education quality? Fine question, yes or no. Therefore multiple choice, they can only pick one answer. It doesn't give us full details, but it provides us a very broad overview, which is perfect for a quantitative question, as you'll remember from the videos. The student has analysed it now. They've started off by just saying what's been said. They're just repeating this at this stage. The 25 participants were asked if they have witnessed an improvement in their education after seeing the transition to online learning. A large majority, 72%, said they did not see this in their experience. That is just repeating what the graph says. It's good, it's helpful to me, the reader, but it's not, you're not actually making an inference or trying to explain anything away or looking at cause and effect. You're not analysing in any way, you're just repeating. The stuff in bold is where she's making some, the student is making some interpretation. So, however, some 28% did believe that online school does not provide a higher learning, which could mean that some students were able to thrive in this new environment, resulting in them retaining knowledge better. On the other hand, the greater part of students felt their education was hindered, perhaps because of the lack of face communication with teachers. Another interpretation that be the new methods of teaching were better welcomed by some students than others. Now, given the question, we're not able to explain a lot. We know that most people said that it had not improved their education quality. About a quarter said it had. We're not able to really explain why, but we can have a guess. Now, this student has taken a couple of guesses. She's just said some students were able to thrive in an environment, basically being at home and managing their own time. Most people felt it was hindered because of the lack of face-to-face communication. So this student guessed that perhaps that is really important to learning. And then a final interpretation is that some methods of teaching were better welcomed by students than others. So perhaps there are students who dislike the videos online and some students who prefer it. She's just made 3 interpretations there. Let's have another look at another example. What was your biggest challenge during e-learning? Again, nice clear question, how many respondents, the graph, and a key. That's what you want. Perfect. She's just explained what's been said. When asked about the biggest challenge during e-learning, over half of the students said it was the workload. However, considering the next 2 chosen answers, learning environment and procrastination, it can be inferred that the students were not prepared for the drastic transition in education and therefore have failed to manage their time properly. A different interpretation that may be that curriculums have been much delayed due to the transition and therefore teachers are forced to give more work to stay on track. What an amazing interpretation from this data. I couldn't have done it better myself. Obviously the answers aren't given there, so we can never be certain in our guesses, but by looking at the biggest answer and then the next 2 biggest answers, this student has made a really, really good guess, and that's all I'm asking you to do here. Guess the reasons why people picked what they pick. So the student who did this, fantastic. I couldn't have done it better myself. And just the fact that you're having two interpretations as opposed to just one opens everything up to a discussion afterwards, which I think is fantastic. Try to aim for at least two different interpretations. Another example, this one in the form of a bar chart, I guess you call it. I'm not a maths teacher. What are some of the benefits of online school that you have noticed? Again, 25 respondents. Nice, clear, better focus, better understanding the curricular, lighter workload, or flexible hours, and the numbers and percentages there. We then go into her unbolded or regular text, which just explains the graph. When asked about the benefits of online school, many participants chose flexible hours, while a lesser amount chose lighter workload and better focus. Additionally, a very small population believed that students were understanding the curriculum better. This may signify that while students are enjoying their new independence concerning work hours, very few are retaining knowledge better because they are not ready to handle such responsibility and are therefore falling behind. An alternative conclusion may be that with freedom came negligence, and students who are no longer being monitored fail to attend class and complete tasks, resulting in their incomprehension of content. You could start doing a checklist. Have you got the question and the respondents? Have you got the graph? Has it got a key if needed? Have you explained this? Just restate it. You're only repeating it. Have you done that? Have you given two possible answers for such results? Possibly it's this, that is the reason that caused students to answer X, Y, and Z, and possibly it's that. Then we'll look at a qualitative question. You do not need to color code. I've just done it, or this student has just done it to make it easier. So we've got our context in blue. This helps the person understand the red a bit better. The 25 student participants of the survey were asked what they believe could improve their e-learning experience. A very common answer among those submitted was decreasing the amount of work given. Context. Now, evidence in red. Students claim that the assignment overload is making it hard to focus and understand everything. She has embedded a quotation from a response. Then we've got an analysis. A potential explanation for this is that teachers have not given students enough space for transition smoothly because of the urgency to complete the curriculum. Therefore, students have begun to see online school as a difficult and possibly unbearable environment. So she's given a interpretation of this. She's basically had a guess as to why. Moreover, many students have said that the logistics of online school are in need of revision. A student has specified the need for teachers to coordinate with one another, to give suitable lessons and assignments for students that do not overwhelm them and succeed in accomplishing the necessary learning goals. The recurring theme is that the assignments given to improve students' education are actually having a counter effect when considering the criticality and speed of the switch to online school. A logical reason for this be that teachers have also found adapting to the new environment challenging and are still unfamiliar with the conditions of online teaching. Therefore, they have not been able to provide students with the best teaching techniques and have given them a burdensome experience. And then a summary. In some students' complaints and design improvements for online school are indeed valid, but teacher struggles must also be acknowledged. So to sum this up, whenever you're giving evidence, you need to give context, how many people were asked and what kind of stuff were they asked, and then you can give your evidence. Then you analyze it. Now, honestly, I feel that given the type of question, we can get a lot more. We can use a lot more quotes, and we should be looking for the reasons why and examples within respondent answers. So if you ask people in a survey and they give you an example, please use that example. I cannot stress that enough. If they don't, if they give you very short answers, then you just work with what you can. But if they give you really long answers with examples, make sure you are giving examples. Use that as a checklist. Have I given context in blue? You don't have to color code, but for the purpose of this, have you given the context? Have you quoted where you needed to and given the examples that the people said in the survey? Have you analyzed it? You could do level 1, 2, and 3, and you can make inferences and look at interpretations. Have you summarized it? Let's have another little look at some more of these. 5 teachers from AIS were asked about their thoughts on online school and how it affected their jobs and their life. The nature of their work included creating suitable assignments for students, as well as providing adequate explanations through videos, meetings, articles. Lots of lovely, lovely, lovely context there. We love context because it helps people understand. Again, we've got the question, the respondents, the graph, and the key there. She's explained it. The teachers were asked if they felt e-learning is better than traditional school. 4 of the teachers said no, while 1 did believe that online is better. It's probably me. This may be because of the difficulty in providing thorough explanations and making sure that students understand during e-learning, since there is much less student-teacher contact. However, 1 teacher may have found it better because of the personal benefits it caused, such as more time with his family. If that's not me, I guess who it is. What were some of the benefits you saw in e-learning? Same thing again, we've got our question, responses, nice little graph that explains everything, and then we just repeat the graph to make it clear. When asked about the benefits of e-learning, the 2 top most common choices were working from home and more time for matters outside of work. However, none of the participants found themselves having fewer responsibilities. Perfect. She's explained the graph. One interpretation of this may be that teachers have benefited from e-learning at a certain price, meaning that they have a more preferred setting with a larger set of obligations. Additionally, teachers may also be benefiting from the idea that they no longer need to deal with behaviour issues, which is very probable since the 3rd most chosen option is a better classroom environment. Perfect, nice one. And then we have another qualitative one. Finally, the 5 teachers were asked to describe how the new online schoolwork environment has affected them. Most of the teachers have found it difficult properly adjusting to the new setting. 1 teacher said that it was challenging to assist his own children and maintain teaching students, while another felt that she could no longer do her job to the best of her ability. Remember, if you're changing the quotes to fit your narrative, your description, and you need to change my to his, you can just use the square parentheses to do that. Context, evidence, analysis. It is possible that the abruptness of the change has led to teachers being unprepared and are lacking the needed skill set to mimic a similar classroom environment while managing family matters. Perhaps more training was needed to help teachers accomplish their job requirements without the need to take away from their personal time. Furthermore, teachers did not only have to change their work life, but their personal schedules have also been completely altered. 1 response mentioned was that the lack of structure in his life caused him to feel unfit and unhealthy. That's me. This drastic change in lifestyle that accompanied the start of e-learning have varied. The drastic changes have varied, and losing healthy habits is only naming one. Potentially, some may have found themselves neglecting their regular self-care practices after being caught up in the media and propaganda of pandemic. Therefore, it is clear that to switch to online school has not only affected teachers' work, but has also proposed challenges to their personal lives. Perfect. Well done, this student. Context, evidence, analysis. Context, evidence, analysis, summary. Everyone needs to be doing this, right? It's due on Thursday at midnight. Good luck.